Welcome back. Glad you hopped on board for another ride on this journey to make our voice known. If you haven't done so already, feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment. I appreciate and welcome all three of those activities. So today, let's talk about our foundations. In Psalms 11:3, it says, "If the foundations of a godly society are destroyed, what can the righteous do?" If the foundations of a godly society are destroyed, what can the righteous do? And so when I saw that, I said, I wonder what this word foundations means in the Hebrew. And when I looked it up, you see that the word is, and don't hold me to this pronunciation, everybody, shatal, which means a basis, i.e., figuratively, political or moral support. Political or moral support. So when you think about the word support, I think about beams. I think about the foundations of a house. I think about something that's undergirding some structure, to make it strong. So when it comes to the foundations, number one, the foundation should be God. The foundation of the family is God. And we want to talk about today, how can we restore the foundations? Because obviously, look at our culture. We can tell that the foundations are crumbling, or if they're not crumbling, they're definitely showing cracks. And so how can we reestablish those? Well, like I said before, the foundation of the family is God. It has to be God. It starts right there. God has to be the foundation of any successful family. And then after that, you take it up another level. The foundation of a society or community is the family. So you have the foundation of the family is God. You build upon that, gives you the foundation of the community and the society is the family. The foundation of a nation or government is a community or society. So taking a step back, the foundation, number one, is God. Then God is the foundation of the family. Then the family is the foundation of a community or a society. And then the foundation of a nation or a government is the community or society. So if you have a crack or a fissure or some kind of weak point in any one of those four, then the whole thing falls apart. You gotta understand, the government reflects the will of the community or the society. If the society is no longer virtuous or righteous, then of course the government is going to operate the same way. So a lot of people are complaining about how corrupt Washington, D.C. is, or how corrupt our government is, especially this past election. We saw a level of corruption that we hadn't seen before. And people are wondering, why is our government so corrupt? Why are they corrupt? Why are these senators, these representatives, why are the candidates so corrupt? Why do we keep electing these same type of candidates? Well, you got to understand, the government is a reflection of society. So if our society is corrupt, if our communities are corrupt, if our families are corrupt, then that's what we get in government. It starts from the bottom. Government is like what they call a lagging indicator. Government is reflecting something that's been going on, bubbling up at the community and the family level for a long time. You gotta understand, the family has been under attack for a long time. The righteousness and the virtue of family structures in America and in the world as a whole has been under attack. And part of that attack is coordinated and is designed to weaken America. It's designed to weaken certain parts of America. For example, you have a large rise of single parent households, in particular when it comes to the Black community. If you look at studies, you can tell when the single parent families began to increase and the two parent nuclear family began to decrease. There's a line of demarcation. It's right around when the New Deal was passed and some other things. Right around that time, you started to see a shift. And then you started to see it really take off in the 70s when welfare really was on steroids. So, and I believe it's all designed. Don't get me wrong. Welfare has its place for someone who was looking to move up. But it was never intended, at least I don't think it was ever intended to be a lifestyle. But unfortunately, because of the way things have been played out over the generations, it's now become a lifestyle for certain people. And again, to me, that's targeted because one of the tenets of Marxism is to destroy the Western family, the two-parent household, male and female. That's part of the tenets of Marxism, is to destroy that. And socialism, communism, Marxism, they all are intertwined. And so whenever the New Deal was introduced, that was a form of socialism. And so part of it may not have been the goal, but part of the byproduct of a socialist state is the destruction of the family. And we've seen that. We've seen the family structure be destroyed. And it's negatively impacted our country. You can see the way that our country has gone down. Virtue and righteousness is no longer the standard. Whenever you begin to call good evil and evil good, right wrong and wrong right, you're headed towards destruction in your personal life, in the community, in your family, and in government. So what can we do? What can we do to bring things back into proper alignment? Well, it goes back to understanding the biblical structure, the proper structure. This is the ideal. Now, we know we live in a world that is fallen. And so things are not going to be the way that God originally intended or designed them to be, because we're dealing with human beings. We're all humans. So there are going to be times when we fall short of the ideal. But it doesn't mean we should not shoot for that and not strive for that. And I believe that we can at times achieve that. So what's the ideal? Number one, having God as the foundation, having Him as the source of everything. And then you build on top of that the proper roles within the family: a father, a mother, a male, and a female. That's the way God designed it. I'm sorry if it offends anyone by what I just said. I didn't create this structure. I was born into it like you were. But I'm telling you, that's the proper way. That's the only way, as a matter of fact, is to ensure that, number one, God is the foundation. And number two, we have the proper roles aligned, male and female, and then the children coming after that. And then once we do that, once we understand that we have that foundation strong, God, a strong family, then we got to go out into the community and then push that new family structure, push that return to the proper family structure into the communities. And then we'll see the communities change, and then we'll see our society change, then ultimately we'll see the government change. Because it doesn't matter. It does not matter what kind of laws or policies people put in place. If you continue to send people to Washington, D.C. or the state capitals that are coming from a place of corruption and a lack of virtue, you're going to continue to get the same kind of stuff we've been getting. So it starts, number one, with the restoration of the family. The restoration of the family is key in order to see a change in our society. I appreciate you watching this video. Once again, you are not a victim. You are empowered for greatness.